Should you build your own custom tech product, or should you just use something that already exists? Because sometimes the best thing for your venture is to use Squarespace or Shopify or whatever tool is relevant for your sector. But sometimes that's exactly the wrong decision. And in this short episode, I'll share my scorecard for how to decide whether you should build or buy. Hello, smart people. How are you today? When I was making this episode for you, I was thinking this episode is going to put me out of a job. But, I love you. I would rather that you had the right information and you were able to make the right decisions than you basically bought courses or info products that are not going to be right for you. So for those of you who know what Tech for Non-Techies does, is we help business owners or we help non-technical founders create tech ventures. And so that means that we help them create custom tech products like apps and sites and platforms and so on. But there are a lot of founders, there are a lot of businesses who actually don't need custom technology, who would be much better off using Shopify, for e-commerce, or Squarespace for a simple website, or maybe if they are a learning solution provider, like an online course provider, Kajabi is a really, really good option. And this episode is really about which camp should you be on? Should you be buying an off-the-shelf product, or should you be creating your own? Because if you should be buying your own product, then definitely don't do that. Because creating a custom tech product, it's really, I think, intellectually stimulating. Question 1. Is the tech itself the reason that customers are going to buy from you? And this is a 1 to 5 scores. So for example, in my business, we use Calendly as a scheduling software. So why are we paying for Calendly? Because of the technology, basically. Because the tech is the product. I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody from the Calendly team, and I don't really want to. No disrespect, but I'm busy. The product works. I pay them. You can book a time on my calendar. Everybody's happy. So that's a 5. I'm paying for the tech. Now let's think of maybe a coach, like a business coach. Why would people pay a business coach? Because of the person, or maybe a therapist. Why would they pay a coach or a therapist? Why would you? Because of that person, because of their expertise, because of their frameworks, because of how they help you deal with challenges. And so you actually don't care. Are they speaking to you on Zoom? Are they speaking to you on Microsoft Teams? You just care about the results. So the platform that delivers that coach to you, that's just the vehicle. So that's definitely a 1, maybe a 2. I'm not sure what it will be 2. Keep it at a 1. So basically, here's the test. If I stripped away your technology and delivered your product in person or via Zoom or via Google Doc, would customers still pay you? If yes, then your tech is a 1 or a 2 for this question. And if no, you're closer to the Calendly score, which is a 4 or a 5. Do you need features that don't exist anywhere else? Again, this is a 1 to 5 score, where 1 is, no, this already exists, and 5 is, no, yes, I'm building something completely novel. And again, let's think about e-commerce. Maybe you need to sell sweaters. So Shopify is a really, really good way to do that. So that already exists. And millions of people and lots of retailers are already using it. And not just small retailers, but really big retailers. So that's going to be a 1. Or maybe if you need a booking system for appointments, as I mentioned, Calendly, Acuity, and so on. So that's going to be a 1. But let's say that you are building a platform that uses AI to match freelance designers with clients based on based on an algorithm that analyzes portfolios, past project success rate, and communication style and location. And basically that, the two get matched, the clients and the designers, and automatically that platform handles contracts and payments and intellectual property transfers globally. So that is going to have a lot of custom features in it. So that doesn't basically exist. So that's going to be a 5. So just think about really what is it that you genuinely need. And yes, I know that we all want to customize everything. Like, even if you buy some clothes, for example, maybe sometimes you take them to the tailor, like you buy a new jacket, you want to take it to the tailor. So it looks perfectly nice in you. You can't do that with tools like Shopify or Acuity. And so there is a temptation. I think in question 2, this is really where I see founders basically waste money when they shouldn't. Sometimes Shopify or whatever the off-the-shelf solution is, it's good enough. It's fine. It is much better to take a solution that is good enough and maybe not have all of the features that you want, because actually you don't really need those features. And custom development takes ages and it's expensive. And it's like, basically, once you start doing custom, your entire life and your entire business has to change. So be really honest with yourself. Do you actually need new features? Like, are you actually building something completely new? Or do you just want a slightly modified version of something that already exists? Do you expect rapid iteration based on user behavior? And so this is the last question. Again, 1 to 5 scoring. So 1 is my product is pretty stable, and 5 is I need to ship new features very frequently based on new data. So for example, let's take the Tech for Non-Techies business. The Tech for Non-Techies business is hosted on Kajabi. So we have bite-sized videos in our Tech for Non-Technical Founders course, but you also get one-on-one coaching with our expert instructors, which is usually done on Zoom. So the core functionality is hosting videos, managing payments, managing the community, and basically setting up Zoom via Calendly. This is definitely 1 or 2. These needs are not changing weekly, because the thing that is changing frequently, it's the content. We're updating the content to reflect new tools, new tech trends, and so on. But actually, the way they are served to you, like the actual screen where the videos are, doesn't really need to change. But let's imagine that you're building a marketplace where you need to constantly adjust your matching algorithm, test new user flows, A/B test pricing models, respond to behavioral data in real time. That's a 5. And in fact, when I used to run a tech company, we would have new releases every 2 weeks. So we essentially would have 2-week sprints, and then we would have a new release based on data, and we would create new features based on how people were behaving and what was working and what wasn't. Now, the business that I'm running now, it's a different kind of business. So what I can see is that pre-built tools like Shopify, like Kajabi, like Squarespace, they are really, really good if your main product is not the technology, and actually you just want the tech to provide stability, because they're not great for rapid, unique iteration. But if you need to move fast and break things, if technology is actually at the core of your business, if that's your core IP, if essentially it can't be copied without really knowing the insider insights, then those things are very specific to your business model, and you're at a 4 or a 5.